So we are officially on the week to WrestleMania, and some people would say it's kind of like Christmas for wrestling fans. And in today's video, I'm going to be going through the card that I made for WrestleMania 41 a few months ago. The WrestleMania card I like to see is what the video was called. I'm going to be watching it, going through it, explaining why I thought that match was going to happen, and kind of comparing it to the match that we're actually going to get, like as a comparison. And yeah, I hope you all enjoy. Do subscribe, and yeah, let's get into the video. So first up, we had Charlotte Flair taking on Tiffany Stratton for the WWE Women's Championship, and yeah, this made like 100% the most sense. I made the video around Elimination Chamber time, and I'm pretty sure this match was confirmed by that point. So yeah, I mean, I would have put this even if it hadn't have been confirmed by the time I put the video out. But yeah, this makes like the most sense to guess. It was probably one of the safest guesses on the entire Mania card, and yeah, I mean, I'll talk about all the build and stuff around it in my WrestleMania predictions on Thursday. But yeah, for me, very simple guess to go for as far as the Women's Championship went. After that, I guess the Intercontinental Championship match almost correctly. I was expecting AJ Styles to be in the Intercontinental Championship match. Clearly, that's not the case. He's facing Logan instead. But to get 3 out of the 4 people in the match correct, I think it's pretty cool. Obviously, Penta has taken that instead. I had a different match for Penta on this card, which we will talk about when we get to it. But yeah, I feel like as far as the prediction goes, I don't think I could have got any closer with the Intercontinental title match, considering at one point I had it as a singles match. I had it on Balor and Dominic kind of late on. And yeah, I just more or less smashed it with that. And yeah, very happy with how that one worked out compared to other stuff that's on the card, which we'll get to, which I'm aware is very, very bad as far as guesses go. But yeah, I think very happy with this one. You know, it made the most sense to me at the time. Just a shame that AJ Styles won't be in a title match. He's facing Lucid Logan instead. But yeah, I feel like it's not a bad guess from me there. And here we see the start of the bad guesses from me. Completely got this one wrong. I know that there is a certain Bobby out there who will be very happy with the fact that Karrion Kross is not on the card and probably laughing at me right now for thinking he was going to get on the card. But yeah, I thought this was where we were inevitably going to get to. In my own head, I think Sammy is legit hurt, and that's why we've not seen him since Elimination Chamber, and that's why Kross isn't on the card. I feel like it's more because of Sammy than it is because of Kross, but other people have you believe otherwise. It's a bit of a shame. I would have loved to have seen Karrion Kross on the card. Kross is one of the people I absolutely love as far as fandom goes in the WWE. Very happy to see he had a match on Raw last night. But yeah, no, I honestly thought he was going to be on the card, and yeah, I couldn't have been more wrong come actual WrestleMania week, as neither of these guys are on the card anywhere, so let alone in a match together. So yeah, pretty bad guess from me there. Yes, following that we have Jade Cargill versus Naomi, which I got spot on right, and I put it on before we got the reveal of Naomi being the person that took out Jade originally. But I know a lot of people, I mean, it wasn't exactly the biggest secret in the world, the fact that Naomi did it. I think a lot of people thought the same as I did, which makes this even more justified. Again, very similar to Charlotte and Tiffany. This pretty much was a very simple guess to put on the card. Obviously, they could have gone for a swerve and put the triple threat with Bianca in, but for me, this makes the most sense. Gives Cargill a big stage of WrestleMania to kind of not make a, but have a singles WrestleMania debut, if that makes sense. But yeah, no, for me, as I said, makes a lot of sense. Made a lot of sense at the time that Naomi was the one that took her out. It's a match that I don't have the biggest investment in. I'm hoping Cargill kind of squashes Naomi, but we'll talk more about that in the predictions video. But yeah, for me, again, another simple guess and one that I got spot on right. After that, I went for Solo versus Jacob. And to be fair, I honestly thought this was where we were leading to. I thought it made the most sense in the world. And yeah, everything seemed to be leading to Jacob versus Solo here, and then it seemed like they suddenly pivoted to Jacob versus LA Knight for the United States Championship, which is a match that I like. I think it's gonna be a great match. But yeah, I think I would have preferred Solo versus Jacob, and the United States title match I did put on here. But then they didn't mess around with the United States Championship picture, but Yeah, I would never have thought Jacob was going to have his first WrestleMania Championship match. I thought having Solo made the most sense. Uh, yeah, I got this one like completely wrong, but yeah, I think it's a match that we're definitely going to get in the future at some point. But yeah, not at WrestleMania apparently. After that, there's a match that I was pretty close with, to be fair. You know, take LA Knight out, and yeah, you pretty much got it. Obviously, Priest and McIntyre are having a match at WrestleMania in a street fight, but yeah, I thought we were going to lead to a random triple threat. I know a lot of people don't like that, but it just made the most sense to kind of have, I don't like a showcase type match with Drew, Priest, and LA Knight. Again, I didn't expect LA Knight to win the United States Championship, so yeah, I kind of just threw these guys together. I thought they'd have a really good triple threat match, but no, that simply wasn't the case. We're getting a street fight instead, which I'm very happy about. I'll get into the predictions video about people's opinions on Priest versus McIntyre because I bullshit. But yeah, no, I feel like I was pretty close with this one. I was in the ballpark of what it was. But yeah, wasn't spot on right, but as close to being as right as I possibly could have been, I think. And again, and it won't be for the last time in this video, I got this one completely wrong. For me, I feel like the Rumble might have got to me a bit as far as Nikki Bella showing up and kind of being the number 30 slot. I thought that maybe they were going to bring her back for something else through WrestleMania. Obviously, they brought Trish Stratus back for Elimination Chamber. I thought they would do a similar thing here with Nikki Bella and have a challenge for the Women's United States Championship, and that simply wasn't the case. But also, the fact that Chelsea Green isn't on the card at all, I think is an absolute travesty. I've literally seen reports today that she was supposed to be the host for WrestleMania, which again would have been a fantastic thing for her to be doing. And unfortunately, that isn't going to be the case by the looks of things unless they announce it on SmackDown, which I hope they do, to be fair, because I feel like that would be a role that Chelsea would be really good at. But yeah, for me, she really should be wrestling on the card. She's been one of the better parts of SmackDown over the past year. It's definitely earned that spot to be on WrestleMania. And yeah, as I said, it's an absolute travesty she didn't get on, even if it's just a random match against a random opponent. Obviously, someone like Nikki Bella would have been really good for her, and I feel like a big win there would have made the most sense. But yeah, no, it is a shame that she's not on the card. Got this one completely wrong. Yeah, just absolutely booked it with that one, I think. I mean, on a minor technicality, I kind of got this one right. Like, there was a confirmed match graphic. Everything was set up for KO versus Randy Orton. But, you know, real life gets in the way. You can't help when life takes over. Kevin Owens got injured. His neck gave in, essentially. And, man, that sucks so bad. Like, the fact that Kevin could be out for 2 years is so shit. It just really is. But yeah, as far as Randy Orton goes, there's no confirmed opponent for him at the minute. It looks like it could be Solo. It could be Nick Aldis. There's, you know, I've seen talks of Aleister Black or Rusev or just like a multiple of people. Sheamus, I think, has been thrown in the car, into the thrown into the hat. I think that's the thing. But no, I'm praying it's not Solo. I really am. I feel like Solo versus Randy will be really boring. I personally am hoping it's going to be Nick Aldis, as I do like Nick Aldis as a wrestler. I feel like he's really good. I saw his matches as Magnus in TNA, and they're really good. So, yeah, I'm hoping it's Nick Aldis, but either way, like, we know Randy Orton's got a match on the card. It's just a case of life getting in the way. Kevin Owens couldn't do it, which I feel like is a massive missed opportunity, unfortunately, for WWE. I feel like this match would have been really, really good, especially if their match was originally supposed to be the street fight, which would have made a lot of sense in my opinion, and they've just thrown it on Drew and Priest because it's kind of like the next like big feud down that isn't for a championship that could have been added in with a street fight. But yeah, no, I feel like it's very unfortunate events that's led to it not being KO. But as I said, I kind of got this one right. It was confirmed at one point, but it is what it is as far as Kevin getting injured. And then we get to what I put as night one main event, which was spot on right. It is the night one main event, is Roman versus Punk versus Rollins, which I got right. It's just the situation around it is not right. So I put it down as the WWE Championship match. I thought shenanigans were going to go down at Elimination Chamber, which didn't work out. I'll talk about that a bit more when we get to the night two main event. But the match itself is completely spot on right. Punk versus Reigns versus Rollins. It's a match I'm very much looking forward to. I think it absolutely should be the main event, as some people I know would disagree and say it should be Jey and Gunther. I personally think that this is the bigger match as a comparison with the two. And yes, as I said, got this on absolutely spot on right. Very happy to see this one going down. It's just a shame it's not for a championship. It would have made a lot of sense if they put something on the line, not just the services of Paul Heyman, apparently, even though I don't really think that's what it's for. But yeah, no, for me, as I said, got that one absolutely spot on right, and I couldn't be happy with the fact I got it right as well. So we move on to my night 2, and again, very similar to Stratton and Charlotte Flair. I'm pretty sure this match was confirmed before the Elimination Chamber and before the this video came out, which of course is Jey Uso challenging Gunther for the World Heavyweight Championship, which again, spot on right. I didn't say it was very obvious. I honestly thought Jey was going to choose Cody originally, but as I said at the time of the video, I'm pretty sure this was confirmed, so very easily to put in, very, like straightforward kind of stuff. Not really got much to say on this one that I can't say in my predictions video. So yeah, so like just another right guess, I guess. So following that, it is a bit of a weird one. I definitely had Liv and Raquel defending. I know some people didn't. I feel like that would have been a big mistake. Liv 100% deserves to be on WrestleMania this year. And yeah, it's for the women's tag titles, which I mean some people will definitely see as a demotion. But I feel like, these Raquel and Liv are probably the best women's tag team we've seen since probably the Iconics. And maybe since the Boston Hug Connection or Bayley and Sasha. And yeah, no, they 100% should be on this card. And to be fair, with my guesses, I thought that Damage Control or Kabuki Warriors, essentially Asuka and Kairi, would be back by now. As far as I'm aware, they're both fine and they're due back whenever. Maybe it's going to be saved for a Raw or SmackDown after WrestleMania thing. But I mean, I really don't know at this point. And as far as deserving matches at WrestleMania, I thought Nia was going to be set for WrestleMania. I feel like she's probably had the best year of her career so far, and normally when that happens, she tends to get a match from WrestleMania. Obviously, she has a good partnership with Candice going on, so it made a lot of sense to put her in the women's tag title division. And yeah, it just, apparently she's hurt, and she's just going to miss it out, and it's a massive shame because, as I said, I'm not the biggest fan of Nia Jax, but she has definitely deserved that match on WrestleMania in my opinion. And Candice, kind of because she's friends with Nia, kind of just gets that spot as well. But the match we get instead, and who Liv and Raquel are actually defending against, I will talk about in a bit, as they are in a match together later on in my card. But yeah, no, as far as I'm concerned, I'm very happy to see Liv and Raquel defending the tag titles. Because at this point, Liv and Raquel weren't champions when I made the video, so I actually predicted them winning the titles and defending at Mania, which I both got right, but the match I put here is incorrect, which is unfortunate. But yeah, I feel like I predicted correctly the more positive parts of this match, essentially, which is Liv and Raquel winning the titles and defending them. Okay, so with this one, I'm kind of right, I guess. Or I'm not right. I'm in the ballpark. It's just that if I'm in the ballpark, I'm right at the end, in my opinion. Like Rey Mysterio and American Made are very much involved. We're getting, I don't know. I feel like no one could have predicted us getting El Grande Americano. I thought that the Dark Arts luchador we were going to get was going to be Malachi Black or Aleister Black helping out Chad Gable. Obviously, that's not the case. We know that Aleister Black is coming back to WWE through the vignettes. We just don't know when that's going to be. I assume it'll be the SmackDown after WrestleMania. And then you've got the whole thing of, is Chad Gable El Grande Americano? I personally don't think so. I think they look different. I think that they're different heights. I think the whole aesthetic is that they want us to think Chad Gable is El Grande Americano, but he's not, and they will feel it's somebody else. And I feel like, I know there are some people that think it is. Bobby especially thinks it's Chad Gable, of which, if it is Chad Gable, I am very much got this one right, technically, because they're both in the match. If the Ray and Gable are facing each other. But obviously, Penta is in the Intercontinental Championship match, which is fair enough. I thought that it would be very Rey Mysterio to pick Penta as a tag team partner. Obviously, we know Aleister Black is coming back. It just wasn't before WrestleMania. And Chad Gable and Rey Mysterio are in the same feud together. We just haven't. It's just not the match that we're getting, which is a bit of a shame. But as I said, I'm in the ballpark. I'm very far off the ballpark, but I'm in the right realm essentially. it's not like the worst pick on this card by a far, but I'm sure you can see where my head was at the time. So yeah, with this one, I'm completely off. Obviously, there is no Women's Intercontinental Championship match, let alone a ladder match. Since WrestleMania 31, 32, 33, when we got consecutive years of ladder matches, I'm always going to predict a good old-fashioned ladder match for WrestleMania. I feel like they should be on the card every year in some capacity, and I feel like with the women's now having a mid-card title, there's even more chance of getting a ladder match. And I thought that putting Lyra and having her defend the title in a ladder match made the most sense, as the Raw Women's division is kind of stacked full of people who can have really good matches. But obviously that's not the case. Lyra and Bayley, who are obviously both in this match, are taking on Liv and Raquel. Shayna and Zoe, I don't know why I picked them. I feel like it's more personal preference. I want to see Shayna Baszler go back to being a killer like she was in NXT. I want to see Zoe Stark be used more on television as she is. I feel like a genuinely good wrestler. She just isn't used as much as I'd like. Dakota Kai, it generally feels like she was going to be the next Intercontinental Champion after Lyra. It feels less like that now, but obviously when the video came out, she was very much in that division, and we actually haven't seen Dakota Kai in weeks at this point. Roxanne Perez is probably the biggest fumble of WrestleMania and Stand and Deliver this year. Like the fact that she doesn't have a match on Mania, and as it stands on Tuesday afternoon, obviously NXT is on tonight, she doesn't have a match on Stand and Deliver either. And she's arguably had the best year of any woman in the whole of WWE. And yeah, I feel like it's a massive missed opportunity, and as I said, a massive fumble not to have Raquel in plans already for this weekend. And yeah, as I said, with Bayley and Lyra, they're in a tag team title match, which is something I did not expect to happen. But yeah, I thought this would be a really fun match, but clearly wasn't going to be the case. Was well off with this one, which is a bit of a shame because I feel like this would be a really good ladder match, don't you think? And look at that, another one I was so far off on. I literally don't know at this point. I don't know what I was thinking, even though I do know what I was thinking. I didn't think Nakamura was going to lose the title before WrestleMania. I thought they were going to have Jimmy and Jey Uso kind of have a big celebration coming out of WrestleMania where they both come out as singles champions. I thought that would be an awesome moment to see the two twins kind of celebrating with each other with championships, and that simply wasn't the case. Nakamura lost the title to LA Knight, and Jimmy Uso was murdered by Gunther. So yeah, we haven't seen Jimmy Uso for a couple of weeks now since Gunther just completely killed him off. And yeah, we haven't seen Nakamura either, but that doesn't surprise me. He kind of shows up, wins the US title, loses the US title, and goes away again. I feel like it was actually very big of me to put Nakamura on WrestleMania, considering that he hadn't defended the title much since winning it back at Survivor Series. But yeah, no, for this one I was completely wrong. I obviously had the case of Jimmy and Jey Uso having big moments at WrestleMania. Clearly, that's probably only going to be Jey, and hopefully Jimmy comes out at the end of the match to either help Jey win the title or comes out to celebrate with Jey after he's won the title. But yeah, no, I would have never expected Jimmy Uso to be absolutely murdered on Raw a couple of weeks ago. And following that, we have a match I couldn't have got more wrong, even if I tried to in a million years. To be in my defense, nobody, and I mean nobody, saw John Cena's heel turn coming. No one would have thought that Cena was going to go heel to face Cody Rhodes at WrestleMania. And yeah, I fully expected Logan to cost Cena the Elimination Chamber. Logan was heavily targeting Cena in the build-up to Elimination Chamber. But yeah, for me, this match made a lot of sense. And yeah, no, that simply just wasn't the case at all. I thought that my thinking going in was Cena would win this match, and it would kind of set him back on the straight and narrow towards the championship. Obviously, Johnson said he hasn't won a singles match in God knows how long, and this would be a good way. Logan wouldn't mind. It would be good for Logan to lose to Cena, if that makes sense. It wouldn't be an issue like he lost to Seth and lost to Roman. It would be a similar thing to that. And yeah, it would kind of put Cena back in the winning column, and he would kind of then start building towards his championship win. Obviously, that's not the case. We had the biggest heel turn in WWE history happen at Elimination Chamber, and yeah, it meant that I literally couldn't have been more wrong with this one. Hopefully, we do get to see this match in some capacity, because I feel like Logan and Cena would work really well together. But yeah, for WrestleMania, as I said, I couldn't have been more wrong for this. Following that, we have the Women's World Championship Triple Threat match, which I got spot on right. Which I know the circumstances around the match isn't quite right. Obviously, I put Rhea as champion. That isn't the case. Io is indeed champion. But to be fair, I predicted Bianca to win the Elimination Chamber correctly, and I predicted that one of the women would be added in, and I thought it was going to be Io. Clearly, that's not the case. It was Rhea. Rhea was a right moody cow about not being in this match, but it was made official like last week, which was fine. I said this one's spot on right. For me, this is going to be one of the best matches on the weekend, in my opinion. I love all three of these. I feel like they can absolutely go in the ring if they want to, especially Io and Bianca. They've had some absolutely fantastic matches in the past. So yeah, it's one of the matches I'm very much looking forward to. I was very excited when I was putting this card together to have this on there, and yeah, it's one of the ones I'm very happy to have gotten right. So let me explain myself. So yeah, I thought Elimination Chamber, The Rock was going to strip Cody of the WWE Championship. The title would be added to the Elimination Chamber. Rollins would win the Elimination Chamber, making the Night 1 main event a WWE title match. And then Cody and Rock would main event Night 2, as a lot of reports are saying that The Rock isn't going to have a match at next year's WrestleMania. So it makes sense to put him on this year's WrestleMania card. So yeah, that's on me for reading dirt sheets and all that kind of stuff and believing rumours and all that bollocks. For me, yeah, it does at the time made a lot of sense. Right now, makes absolutely zero sense. We've not seen The Rock since Elimination Chamber. I assume he'll be at WrestleMania in some capacity, especially with John Cena and Cody Rhodes facing each other, and like how the fact that he has a heavy investment in that match. But yeah, for me, hopefully my explanation makes sense. Where I was at the time, I'm pretty sure I said it during my Elimination Chamber predictions as well. But yeah, for me, I think this is the one that I was the furthest off. And yeah, that's again my fault for being silly. I feel like at one point I definitely had Cody defending the title. I think at one point I had him defending against Punk. I had him defending against Drew at one point. And yeah, and then I settled on The Rock like an idiot. And yeah, so I get to finish the video on a down point, getting it wrong. But to be fair, a lot of people would really enjoy this match and would have preferred this match maybe. But for me, the match that we got and Cena turning heel is much bigger than this match, in my opinion, and it's a match I have a lot of investment in, and it's a match I'm very much looking forward to. Is Cena and Rick and Cody. So yeah, for me, as I said, very very wrong on this one, but very happy with what we got instead. So yeah, that was me going through the WrestleMania card I put together just over a month ago. Yeah, do put down in the comments what you're looking forward to the most through WrestleMania weekend. Obviously, Raw last night had Seth Rollins standing tall. Do you think he's going to win at WrestleMania? Do you think it's going to be somebody else? And yeah, anything else WrestleMania related, do put it down below. We can have a good discussion about it. And yeah, thank you very much for watching. There's lots of stuff coming on the channel this week. Tomorrow, there's going to be NXT Stand and Deliver predictions. On Thursday, it's WrestleMania predictions. On Friday, we have a special profile. It's going to be a little bit longer than the normal profiles, all about Triple H. Of course, he goes in the Hall of Fame on Friday night. It makes a lot of sense to do that profile on Friday. On Saturday, you've got another special profile with The Undertaker. I feel like if anyone is synonymous with WrestleMania, it is the Dead Man. So yeah, there's going to be a slightly longer profile on him going up on Saturday before WrestleMania Night 1. And then Sunday, Monday, Tuesday, Night 1 review, Night 2 review, Stand and Deliver review. And then after that, it concentrates more on AEW and Double or Nothing and Backlash as well. So lots of different content going on the channel. So yeah, do stick around, do subscribe, do like the video if you enjoyed it. And yeah, happy WrestleMania week.